As the new school year starts, I want to remind you that who you are now is not who you have to be. You are always allowed to reinvent yourself. Like Cyberpunk at release versus 2 years later, you too can work on your life. It isn't just school either that gives you this opportunity. Maybe it's a new job or a hobby. Maybe it's an event you're attending where no one knows your name. When you start something new, no one knows your past, no one knows your faults, no one knows your self-esteem issues. You can be whoever you want to be, and you can always find a way to start that process. Now, I'm not a big fan of the fake it till you make it mentality, but I am a big fan of practicing being who you want to be. Yes, sometimes you'll screw up and feel like a fraud or a loser when practicing something new. That's normal. The first time you rode a bike and promptly face-planted on the sidewalk, I'm sure you didn't feel cool. You felt like a dumbass. But you got back on because you wanted to learn how to ride and you knew that actually riding was the only way. It's like trying a new playstyle in a game because your current one isn't working out so well. It's uncomfortable and you'll be pretty ungraceful at it for a while. But as you get better, you become someone who plays with that style and you make it your own. It's like that for anything in life. Just because it seems difficult or even impossible now, doesn't mean it is. You just need to practice it and give yourself a real chance to find your stride. We feel as though others can see all our flaws and are judging them, like everyone around us has some kind of emotional X-ray vision. But the truth is, they can't see any more about you than you can see about them. Not unless you advertise how much of a mess you feel like you are. And guess what? Unless they're a complete narcissist, they feel like just as much of a mess. No one has it figured out. Have an honest conversation about life and regrets with anyone in any age bracket and you'll realize that. Think of it like a video game. Who you start as isn't who you beat the game as. You only become the badass main character who crushes everyone in their path by pushing through the challenges thrown at you, learning to play with different weapons and perks until you find the loadout that works for you. When you reinvent yourself, you're simply trying a new loadout and adjusting how you play to see if it works better for you. You try that playstyle, and if you like it, you become that player. And no one will know or care that you used to play the game differently. Tying this back to reality, people can only see what you show them. So if you want to be someone else, start becoming that person. Hold yourself how they would hold themselves, act how they would act, try to think how they would think, and do so throughout your day-to-day life. Those around you will simply think that's who you are, and over time, you'll retrain your mind out of its current state and into that new one that's better. Reinventing yourself isn't easy, but you have to stop assuming that everyone has read your non-existent character profile before meeting you, or that anyone even cares enough about you to notice your obvious flaws when their main concern is hiding their own. Just because you feel like people are watching you doesn't mean they are. That's called the spotlight effect, and it's part of how we self-police to ensure we don't step out of line. But you define what that line is for you, not the internalized self-judgment you've adopted from others. And you're allowed to move that line wherever you see fit. So if there's a new beginning happening right now in your life, whether it be in the new school year, at a new job, in a new hobby, or even with a new habit, take the opportunity to reinvent yourself and to practice what it's like to be the person you want to be. And you might just find that you like it enough to stick with it.